This is a reading to try to determine if you're single, who your next partner will be. To try to give you some kind of info on them. So Aries is first. So Aries, your next partner is a very strong person. They'll have very domineering type of personality. Somebody take charge. They'll probably be very physically fit and take care of themselves. And what I see is that they most likely would have moved to your city, and they would have just gotten out of a bad relationship where they were either lied to or cheated on, and it would have been a sudden ending for that relationship. So it could be something like they moved to your city with somebody and then they found out they were cheating on them or lying to them, so they dumped them, or they moved to your city because they were fleeing this relationship. So, and they could have light hair, like blondish hair. So yeah, that's your next partner. Taurus. So Taurus, your next partner, they do very well financially. They make good money, and they're very much the type that they're very cooperative. Like they definitely look at relationships as like a partnership. Okay, so they'll want to be in the relationship and work with you. The only thing is that they'll be a little bit guarded. So it might take a little while to really get down to like who they really are, what they really want, their emotions. So they're just a little guarded, but they are a good person, and they might have dark hair. Okay. Gemini. Ooh. Okay, so Gemini, your next partner, they definitely, when you meet them, they definitely would have just gotten out of another relationship, or grieving another relationship where there was the end to the relationship was caused by some sort of fighting or conflict. So they're definitely have some emotional issues in that regard, but they'll be well traveled. They would have traveled a lot and seen a lot of the world, and they might not be from the country that you live in, and they'll definitely want to travel with you. So they'll definitely suggest going on trips and that sort of thing. And they could have dark hair. So Cancer. Okay. Well, Cancer, your next person, they're going to come in very strong and swift. So they're going to come in with the emotions and the feelings like full speed ahead. And it's interesting because they're gonna well, they've definitely been taking a break from being in relationships. They've just been kind of waiting it out until it's like the right time, probably until they meet the right person, which would be you. And then once they meet you, it's like full speed ahead, no problems, like let's make this happen. And they could have lighter hair, and there could be also an element of, like, they're gonna come in really strong and fast, but there could be element of like hurry up and wait. So like they'll come in really fast and they'll be like, oh, I love you, you're awesome, like let's spend all our time together, and then they might pull back a little bit, you know, and be like, oh well, like, you know, I don't kiss on the first date. You know, and it will surprise you because you'll be like, what? Like, I thought you were all about me. So you just gotta give this person a little bit of time to like warm up to you, and like and don't take their sort of like come and go or give and take as like a rejection, because it's not. They literally just like to sort of pile it on and then step on the brakes a little bit. It's almost like they try to temper themselves because they know that they might come off as like a little bit too much to handle when they're in this like love bombing stage. So they realize that about themselves, and they sort of like hit the brakes for a little bit. So just like enjoy those times when maybe like, you know, you're this person's giving you a little bit of still giving you a little bit of that freedom to, you know, get to know each other. Leo. All right, so Leo, your next partner, they definitely would have been leaving a rocky relationship. Okay, something that, you know, was hard to deal with, but they're ready for something new, something less dramatic, and so they've definitely moved on, and there's just so much love for you. It's just gonna be pouring out of them. Like there's just nothing that is gonna be able to hold that back, right? They're just so into you. So that's great. They also might be in some way connected with the law for their profession. So they could be a lawyer, they could work in law enforcement. There's so many different possibilities in the law field, but it could be something like that. Or they would be familiar with the legal system in some way. So, you know, they could have gone to jail before. They could have, there could be people in their family that works for the legal system. I don't know, but something like that. They could have light hair also, or lighter hair. But they're definitely a strong-willed person. They know what they want, and they want you. So it's pretty good. Virgo. So Virgo, your next partner definitely would have had some tough times in past relationships. There's an element of feeling like used, and like well, there was definitely someone from their past that used them, and they were sort of blind to it. They were so in love with that person that they didn't want to see it, and they actually probably had a hard time letting that person go. There's probably a lot of breakups and get back together type of thing. But they've let that go. But what's nice is that their generosity is still with them. So even though somebody used them in the past for their money, they still find joy in being generous. So they would be generous with you. So they probably would wine and dine you, buy you gifts, that sort of thing. But there would be an element of, well, they will be blind for you as well. So they won't see it if you were taking advantage of them. But there's also a little bit of feeling like feeling closed off in some way, closed off in their emotions and in their thoughts. So it might take a little bit to get this person to open up to you. So just be aware of that. They could be a redhead. But they will do financially well because they'll be able to bestow gifts and money on you. So that's nice. So yeah. Libra. Okay, well, so what I see is that your next partner, they're going to do well for themselves financially. They will most likely be an entrepreneur. The only thing to be aware of is that, like, they could have a little bit of combative type of personality. So you could get into a lot of, like, heated debates. There could just be a little bit of, like, friction in the personality. But, I mean, it's not something that, like, I would say is so detrimental that, like, turns you off or something. You might actually like it because, to have somebody that you can actually, like, have intellectual conversations with and have some, like, banter, it could be nice. They could have dark hair. And they'll be very well versed about business and that sort of thing. So they may give you advice or help you even start a business. So, yeah. Scorpio. So Scorpio, your next partner, they would have been in a really, they would have had a past relationship where they would have felt betrayed or hurt really badly. But I mean, it's definitely over with, and they're over it. They want something new, and when they meet you, they will have. In their mind, they would have found, like, the love of their life. There's a lot of emotions towards you. They're a very emotional person, and this person's going to want to have children with you. So just be aware of that. I don't know if you want kids or not, but they're going to want children, and they might even want marriage also, but or they could get pregnant, regardless if you get married or not. So just be aware that they might have lighter hair, okay? And they'll have a very, even if it's a man, they'll have a very, what's the word? nurturing. They'll have a very nurturing aspect to their personality, where they'll want to take care of you. So it's pretty nice. Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius, your next partner, they would have moved on from a relationship that they had in the past where they felt judged by their ex-partner in some way. But when they meet you, I mean, they feel like they've hit the jackpot. Like, it's just total, you know, love, just happiness. They most likely will want to start a family with you and get married. They could have a profession that is in the law field in some way. They could be a judge themselves, or just connected with the legal system in some way. They most likely will have dark hair. And they'll want to buy property with you. They'll want to, you know, buy a home or something like that. So yeah. Capricorn. So Capricorn, your future partner, they will have put an end to a codependent relationship that they would have been in the past. So it would be something like they were with somebody that they were addicted to, or there was some sort of addiction in connection with their past relationship, and they would have put an end to it. And you know, they're just one of those types of people that they know what they want, and they go after it. Very strong-willed. And even though they put an end to, it's kind of funny because they put an end to a past relationship, and in their mind, they put an end to a relationship that they were addicted to in some way, or addiction was involved. And in their mind, it's a total change in their life, right? Like, they're becoming a new person in their mind, but they're going to become addicted to you. So, just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. So just be aware of that. But you may like that, I don't know. You may like to have someone addicted to you. They could have a pet. They could have like strawberry blonde hair or lighter hair. And I mean, they probably do very well for themselves. They're very, you know, they have very strong personality. So they definitely would have had a lot of change in their past. So they probably have lived in several different places. They could have held many different jobs, you know, just a lot of change in their past. And I guess the only thing to be aware of is either they have an addiction to something, or they will become addicted to you. Okay. Aquarius. Your future partner Well, it definitely has a lot of options, okay? So, like dating options. And they're very strong personality. They go after what they want. They probably would have had a past of a lot of like casual relationships or fast relationships or one night stands. So just I guess be aware of that, but they will choose you, so that's nice. And they definitely are penny pinchers. They save a lot of their money. They don't spend a lot of their money. They're very money conscious, so they might not do like exceptionally well money wise. Like meaning maybe they don't make a lot of money, but they save it. So it's like that's how they are, doing okay, because they save their money. And they may actually be the type that they might even have like a freelance type job where they have many different clients or people that they work for, which kind of would explain sort of this like feast or famine type of money situation, where it's like they have to save their money, because if they don't have a gig, like they need the money to live on. So and they most likely will have like darker hair, definitely like brownish, and yeah, so that's that. And Pisces. Well, Pisces, your next partner, they're definitely a hard worker. They put a lot of their effort into their work. When they meet you, I mean, they're going to come crashing in. Like, they're going to move so fast because they don't want to lose you. Because they definitely see you as, like, a trophy. Like, they want you. You're, like, and once they get you, it's, like, going to be the greatest victory of their life for them. Because they just are so into you. They could have reddish or light brown hair. And they're definitely the type where, I mean, I don't think they have any sort of job that allows them to like move around, meaning like freelance or entrepreneur, but they would follow you anywhere you go. Because, like, once they get you, it's like you're the boss, like you're in charge. So, and they just love that about you. So they'll follow you wherever you go. They'll find a job wherever you live. So that's it. Hope you guys liked it, and let me know if you'd like a personal reading. And thanks for listening.